Okay, so I have a new Linux distribution to try out on my Orange Pi 5, and this time it's DietPi, and I'm going to use my little Melee mini PC to install this. Now on the DietPi website, you can see here, what is DietPi? DietPi is a highly optimized and minimal Debian-based Linux distribution. DietPi is extremely lightweight at its core and also extremely easy to install and use. And if we go to the supported hardware, and do a Control F search and start typing Orange. You can see we've got Orange Pi series here. And if we scroll down, there's a DietPi image. Now this image is tiny. I've already downloaded it, so all you do is click on that and then unzip it. Now I've got mine in my Orange Pi 5 folder. So this is the image that it downloads. It's 100 megabytes, so it's tiny. And when you unzip it, you can see that it's only 615 megabytes. So let's use Raspberry Pi Imager to install this. I'm going to use an SD card, so let's just pop that in. So choose OS and use custom. DietPi is already here because I've already installed this once, but I wanted to do it again and just sort of show a bit of the process. Choose storage and your micro SD card and hit right and yes. And I'm still mostly using SD cards in the Orange Pi 5 because it's just super easy, but obviously this is such a lightweight distribution, it's going to be fine running from an SD card. And switch on. And that's starting up. And you can see here it shows my IP address and the default username is root and the password is DietPi. Hit return to log in. So root and DietPi. And just leave it and it'll update and install various different things. And you can see here we've got an option to change the password, so I'm going to say OK and tab down and OK and confirm, tab down and OK, and do the same for root. So I'm not going to disable the serial console, and then you get this very handy menu and then go to install and OK. And this is all we've got, so very, very basic at this stage. And we can do things like type in CPU and you can see what clock frequency the CPU is running at and what temperature it's running at. We can type in htop and see all the tasks and everything that's running. F10 to quit that. And we can type in DietPi-launcher, and here we've got loads and loads of things we can do on this. One of the interesting ones is DietPi software, and you can browse software to install. You can search to see if something's in there, but if we go to browse, you'll see all sorts of information here. Now these are all desktop interfaces. I've already tried Mate, and I'm going to do probably XFCE next. I didn't have any audio with Mate, but you can see here we've got remote desktop software, we've got media systems, all sorts of streaming, SharePort, which is something I tried, but because I didn't have any audio, I couldn't get it to work, although it did install, and basically it gives you AirPlay, so if you've got an Apple device you can AirPlay audio to it. We've got Plex on there, got a radio player, Spotify, you can see a load of BitTorrent and download software there, cloud and backup, gaming emulation, MineOS, Amiberry, which is Amiga emulator, Minecraft server, Box64, so x64 support, social and search, camera and surveillance, MotionEye, that would be interesting. I use that on a Raspberry Pi. I don't know how many of these will just work with an Orange Pi 5, because obviously most of these are Raspberry Pi related, which obviously has incredible support. So it'll be interesting to see what does and doesn't work. Remote access, Pi-hole, Samba server, Wi-Fi hotspot, Octoprint. And you've got web browsers here like Firefox and Chromium. So loads of stuff there, but let's just go back and back to DietPi config, where you have all sorts of options for display and audio. Again, I couldn't get that to work before, but I'm going to give it another try. Advanced options, obviously Bluetooth is off on an Orange Pi 5 as it's not supported. Well, it can be with an M.2 adapter. What's tools going to be? Benchmarks and stress tests. I saw they do benchmarks for all sorts of different devices. There already is an Orange Pi 5 on their list. So I think I'm going to go back to browse software and I'm going to try SharePort again because I think that's pretty interesting. I'm going to do it without a desktop environment first of all and just see what happens. So if we press tab, you press space to select and then press tab and then enter to confirm, and then we go to install and OK. You can see it's going through and installing that. So it says sound card default. Now I tried AirPlay 2 before, but that does say it's experimental, so I'm going to go with AirPlay 1. Okay, so that's finished. So if I hit exit and OK, you can see I've got terminal control now, so let's do reboot. And it's restarted, and you can see at the top here, mode start, and then we've got DietPi services, and you can see SharePort is on there. So SharePort has been enabled. Let's see what happens if I don't even log in. Okay, so let's go to my iPad and let's just pick a track and start playing. Obviously I've got to be really careful with what I play on YouTube, and let's go to the audio menu. There you go, see DietPi shows up as well as my HomePods and my TV. So that now should be playing. But I don't know what the audio is coming out of, so I'll try a few different things on the audio. Okay, so I've tried my capture device. If I plug into this, this basically takes the HDMI audio and I can put it into speakers. That didn't work. I've also tried the 3.5mm on the Orange Pi itself. Now I need to maybe plug in a USB sound card. And I plugged in a USB sound card and it's still playing, but I've got no sound. So I need to play around with that a bit. Okay, so I've since plugged my Bose speaker in via USB and it is recognised, but it still doesn't work. So let's have a look. So we do have loads of audio options. So if I launch DietPi Launcher and go to config and audio, I've got this DietPi Just Boom, which gives me all sorts of options on here. So we can go into the mixer and you can see if I press F6, you can see that I can pick my Bose speaker. It's actually recognised, and all the other inputs and everything are. And I can even change the audio and various different things. And F2 gives me whatever this is. Yeah, loads of information on there, but I still can't get any sound of it. Now I'm not going to make this a video about not being able to get sound on it, so I think what I'm going to do is install a desktop interface. So let's quit out of this and OK and back and exit. I have tried much more than that, but I still haven't been able to get it to work. So let's go down the software route again. DietPi software, browse software, and let's go for XFCE space. And I'm going to leave SharePort on there for now. So if I now press tab and confirm and then install and OK, and it asks me for the browser, I'm going to do Chromium. Okay, so would you like to configure the DietPi auto start option? I'm going to have a look at it. I might not do it still. Current auto start option is 0, but you can see here that I can log into various different things like desktop environment, log into Chromium, dedicated use without the desktop. But I'm going to not do that. I'm going to let it basically restart with terminal. So let's exit that and OK. So now if I do reboot, it did come up with a different screen, but I've left it too long because I was editing the video. But let's log in. It was still in the terminal, not into a desktop environment. So you can see here, this is how it starts up still. And if I want to start the desktop environment, I can do Start X. Oh, we've got loads of partitions. We've got a shortcut to the Chromium browser, DietPi config, DietPi software. All these are little shortcuts as well, which is quite cool. So have we got, so audio is muted at the moment there. Failed to execute. So let's try within the settings of this. Okay, so to DietPi config, and let's try and configure it in here. So it does say sound card on here. Okay, so I've played around with that for quite some time, couldn't get it to work. So let's launch Chromium, I don't know why it's untrusted, and go full screen. Let's just see if it plays YouTube. Let's Let's have a look at my demo video. Doesn't want to play the advert for some reason. Okay, let's see. Let's type in Chrome : / GPU and have a look. So hardware accelerated. No, OpenGL is unavailable. Yeah, there's not a lot running in this from a hardware point of view. It is designed to be a very minimal OS, and I'm guessing most people would use this without a desktop environment, but it's interesting to have a look at. So let's quit out of that. So whatever I try, I can't get audio through it. So hopefully someone will have a solution in the comments. But yeah, I'm really impressed with the amount of options in this, and it's definitely a good addition to have for the Orange Pi 5. The fact that it gives you an easy way of installing so many different applications, and lots of them without a desktop environment. So great work to everybody at DietPi for making this work on the Orange Pi 5. I hope this helps. Thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe.